Hey guys, Dark Prometheus here, back with some more of our Cubs franchise. We're going to do the off season here, but first we have to figure out what kind of happens and how it kind of speaks out. So Rangers beat Houston, okay, and Atlanta beat San Fran, okay. The Angels don't sweep the Rangers, but they do beat them 3-1. The White Sox sweep Toronto. Goes to Game 5 in with Atlanta and the Dodgers, with Atlanta advancing. And then the Phillies beat Milwaukee 3-2, another Game 5 series. And so the White Sox beat the Angels to go to their, was it the second World Series in about 10 years or so? I think they went, what, like 2000, no, actually 20 years. They went in like 2006 or 2008. So they beat the Angels 4-2. On the flip side, Atlanta and Philly go to another Game 7. Both of them went to a Game 5, the respective series in the NLDS. NLCS, it is Atlanta beating the Phillies there. So since we have a Chicago team in the World Series, we'll see how they do. In Game 1, it's going to be Lucas Giolito against Max Fried. And the Sox are going to take that. Lance Lynn comes on the mound, and they get that one. Kopech and Anderson square off, and wow, it's a 16-1 loss for the Sox. Giolito's on the mound again, gets that one. Now it's up to Dylan Cease, and they can't close it there. Now it's up to Lance Lynn, and they can't get it there. It's another one. And the White Sox had defeated the Braves in Game 7 of the World Series. Keuchel gets that one. Let's see what the awards were for that. Luis Robert gets that one. I'm pretty sure it's not Luis Robert. I think it's Luis Robert with him. Goes 429 in the World Series with 0 homers with 7 RBIs. On the flip side, here's the postseason. Adam Duvall gets it for the National League. And then for the American League, it's Leary Garcia. That's 352, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs. Okay, Tim Anderson's in there as well with 4 home runs, 12 RBIs. And Luis Robert is also in there. That is a stacked team. So that will be your playoffs. So let's send to the off season. We have a lot of stuff to figure out. So our first base coach is gone. The qualifying tenor is 18.8. Here's the retired players. Rich Hill on the Red Sox. There's Chase Anderson on the Tigers. Kurt Suzuki on the Angels, the catcher. Brian Castellani. Dalton Jeffries. Robinson Cano calls it quits at 40 years old. Chaser Young, Mark Melanson, Nelson Cruz from the Giants calls it quits at 42. Going through the free agents, Jake Arrieta, calls it quits there. Going through, seeing if there's anyone else. Any names that kind of went out to me. Chris Davis, Tyler Davis. Jay Happ, Cole Hamels for age. John Jay, Scott Kazmir. Those are the big ones. Just see if anyone gets in the Hall of Fame. No one's in the Hall of Fame. Okay, we need a first base coach, so that's where we're gonna start. I wouldn't mind Greg Price. We can go Greg Price for our first base coach. So here are our exclusive free agents. Alderaan Simmons, we're going to let him go into free agency. Michael Givens. I really like him. I'm going to make him an actual offer of like a 2-year, $2 million, 2-year, say $5 million, $2 million a year. We're going to move on for Robertson, and we're obviously going to move on for Drew Smiley. So those are going to be the ones there. Not a lot to do here. Okay. Selecting the 40-man roster. Okay. I don't want to lose Wicks or Espinosa. Wicks or Espinosa. Okay. I'm fine if I lose the rest. Obviously, salary arbitration. We're going to have a lot of guys coming in arbitration suicide pie position. Paddock. Chris Martin pitched decent for us, I thought. 28 holds. I mean, this is like cheap, so let's give him arbitration. Jacob Junis. I'm gonna let him go. Holder. I'm gonna let Holder go. Hicks. So arbitration isn't much, so I mean, we can go ahead and make that offer. I mean, neither is a holders arbitration. Okay. Nick Madrigal, obviously we're gonna give him arbitration. Good thing with Vargas. Obviously Horner's gonna get it. We're gonna go up to $1 million. Hap will give you an extra $1 million. Put Frazier, say another $1 million there. Victor Reyes, 1.8. Okay, there's all of our arbitration. Now tendering our contracts. All right, so I have all my contracts tendered from there. And then we're into free agency. Qualifying offers made for Judge, Turner, Kershaw. So we're not going to make a move on Kershaw, which would be nice. Nola. Gallo, that's a massive contract to compete with the Yankees for. So this is the offers we have right now. We're going to go with Edwin Diaz, giving him a 10-year, $30 million, or 10-year, 3-year, $30 million worth $10 million a year. So we'll see if he can become our closer for the next couple of years. Seth Lugo to strengthen our bullpen. Pretty cheap deal, about 4.25 over that per year for 2 years. The other one is Tommy. Let's look at the stats though. Diaz did pretty well. 3.23 ERA, 45 saves, 5 blown saves. I mean, at 29 years old, I think he could fill that hole of what we have. Seth Lugo, looking for a guy to play more of a setup to a mid relief role. 2.33 ERA for the Mets last season. Pretty good. And the Mets have chosen to spend their money elsewhere. Tommy Pham, who was with the Reds last season, batted .283. We're going to use him as more of a DH than anything since he batted so well. But he has some good fielding traits as well out in the outfield. So we could probably see some rotation with those guys. Another Japanese phenom. No one's picked him up. No one's trying to get him. He's been sitting in here in free agency. It is Kazuma Akamoto. And well, 26 years old, has some good power, stuff like that. And so we're going to take a shot at him at the majors. It kind of worked out with Seiya Suzuki, and we'll see if we can pull him in. Michael Givens, he played pretty good for us in a hold in that setup role, and so we'll see if he can continue that one. Cheap contract, only $2 million per year for 2 years. Zeke Palacios, this is another depth guy, 22 years old. Be down at the minors and see if he can develop. Mike Marlin, another minor leaguer that can come in and see if he can develop some. And the same thing with Kevin Bond. Starting to see maybe some AA and see if we can get these guys rolling. So there was some key guys that I saw in here, but I wasn't really looking to spend a whole bunch of money. Not in this franchise, but this. Kershaw, it would have been great at $20 million a year. We're not in any way going to compete this year. Like, it's not set in stone. We could get hot and we can attempt to compete, but we're not going to be a top level team. So a lot of these guys are looking for ways to actually get themselves a trophy, and I'm just not going to see it with some of these guys. We're kind of taking a swing at who we have given contracts to. I didn't want to compete here with Trevor May. I mean, that's a very cheap contract for him, but that one with Chad Green is not cheap by any means. I wasn't going to compete with this one with Rogers or Chapman. There was a couple other guys that maybe looked intriguing. As we go through, nothing crazy at catcher. I think what I was trying to look at is likely bringing someone back. So we can do some trade talks, and I know one of the guys that I would like to have over here, unless he's starting, he should technically be with the Padres, maybe. He's on the Cubs before, and I really enjoyed his hitting, but I'm looking through just to make sure. So he is starting for the Brewers. Never mind. So we're not actually going to try to get Caratini over. He's starting for them, so I think that would be unrealistic. As for trade, I don't think there's anyone that we'd likely trade at this point. We have some guys that are down below that maybe, but without contracts, I mean, we're not seeing anyone that would likely be dealt. But we'll have Cody Howard back as well, so we'll have a good amount of reinforcements, which would be nice. So we're gonna keep going from here. I'm gonna update the trade block. I'm gonna see if anyone actually wants to give us anything for some of these guys that we're not looking on keeping, and we'll see if we get any trade bait, some trade offers for this. Otherwise, when the next thing happens, we will go ahead and cut to there. So we get, yeah, Bond, we get all the guys that are lower tier down on the contract. And look at that massive contract for Trey Turner, a 6-year $210 million contract. Wow. All right, so we have some competition for Edwin Diaz and Seth Lugo. We did make the signings for Tommy Pham, Kazuma Akamoto, and the guys that were easily able to sign for the pitchers. So let's continue this. Aaron Judge goes to the Angels. Wow. So we did get Edwin Diaz on that 3-year $36 million. Gave him extra $2 million a year. Roberto Perez goes over to Detroit. Joey Gallo comes into the division for the Reds. He played with Tampa Bay. I don't think Tampa Bay was like a crazy good team. Let's give him a 1-year deal. For 9. Let's do it. Tyler Rogers picks the Giants, $12.3 million over 2 years. So we have Kluber. Still looking at Seth Lugo. So if I did this, it would be this. And Brault goes down. Joe Musgrove coming. Well, San Diego's already in the National League, so he's going to stay in the National League and move over to LA. So moving a little bit north there. $17.3 million over 4 years. Wow. So we have a trade here from the Padres. Blake Snell is dealt from the Rangers in the last year of his deal. And the Padres get Lloydie Tavares, a outfield prospect, 24 years old, and Justin Forskew, a infield second base prospect, 24 years old as well. That one for Tavares is probably a pretty big pickup, but I don't know what they're going to be working with when it comes to the future. I mean, that might have been not the smartest idea the trade. But they have Gore up here, Lamont, Yu Darvish, Martinez. Oh, I don't know. That's actually not too bad of one. Let's go to the draft. I think we're full, so we don't have a pick. See if anything big. Jojo Ramirez, that's a big pickup there. Ooh, Zach Logue moving over to Colorado. Tanner Tully. Michael Felice. Okay, that's a good coup there. Cal Cody. Clay Dugan. Okay. And he picks the Athletics, so he's going to leave Chicago and move over to Oakland. An $8.3 million a year for 4 years. Wow. This is a big loss for the White Sox. Nathan Eovaldi going to go over the D-backs instead of the Red Sox off a 2-year, $16 million a year deal. Let's see if we still have a pending offer. I don't know if we got him. Wish there was an easier way to see, or if you actually told me. We got him out that 1 year, $5 million contract. Syndergaard stays with the Angels. George Springer is traded over from the Blue Jays to the Giants. Wow, still has $25 million a year for 4 years on his contract still. And the Blue Jays acquire Alex Wood, starting pitcher's 32, so older guy that can get right into the rotation. And Arlo Rivera, right fielder, 19 years old, 68 overall. A pretty good outfield prospect. So pretty much they trade youth plus a starter, which is nice. I mean, what we're looking at, full 40-man roster. Our rotation going into the spring training is going to be Hendricks, Stroman, Corey Kluber, Chris Paddock, Adbert Azalea, Brault, Gieselman, and Steele will be the long relief. Yardley, Holder, Holloway, Hauer will be back off Tommy John surgery, so we'll get him some work. Seth Lugo, Martin Diaz, the closer. The call-ups that we're testing: Braylon Marquez, Caleb Killian, Keegan Thompson, Jordan Wicks. We'll kind of see an extended look at him. That's Jordan Wicks, the relief pitcher. And Anderson Espinoza. These guys are going to get some looks at the majors. As for the lineup, so we are definitely going to have Tommy Pham be the DH with this. We're going to have Horner at short, Madrigal at second, Suzuki obviously will be in right field, Wisdom will be playing third, Contreras will be catching, Pat will be in left, Reyes will be in center, Pham will be the DH, and Bodie will be at first. What we're going to end up doing is having Bodie and Yakamoto kind of go in and out with each other. We'll kind of see him. Yan Gomes is obviously going to be the one that's up. Rivas is a guy who batted decent up at the majors, so it's his spot to lose. Davis fighting for a spot here. Frazier, it's his spot to lose. We're going to see Sam Huff out up here as well. We're going to take an extended look at him, but obviously I think Huff and Hicks will be going down to AAA after all of this. I think that's pretty much sorted at this point, because we're going to go Contreras and Gomes at catcher. pretty easy there with that lineup. Nothing spectacular changing. So the prospects right now, best prospect in the MLB is Marcelo Meyer for the Red Sox, a shortstop. So scroll down, looking, Juan Ben-Chu for the Cardinals, TJ Abrams still there at 11, Kazuma Akamoto for us. There's Mackenzie Gore, who's likely going to be up the rotation for the Padres. Anthony Velope, Simeon Woods Richardson, who is with the Twins right now, might get a look up at the majors here sooner rather than later. Zach Veen, MJ Melendez looks like he's going to get a crack at the majors in the spring training at least. Same thing with Asa Lacy. Here's Brendan Davis. And here's our first draft pick that we did get in this franchise. It's Alexi Spanos. He is slated as the 38th best prospect in the MLB right now. Vidal Brujan, Revelos Martinez. A lot of Padres. Robert, it's probably Robert Hassel. No, it's probably Robert Hassel. Okay, so that is the good stuff there. So that's going to be the end of this episode. Gonna chop around a little bit. I'm gonna play a little spring training, kind of in between, and sim a little bit, and we will see opening day next episode more than likely. If anything pops up before then, I'll make sure I share it in that opening episode. So thanks for hanging out, guys. Don't forget to leave a like below, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Later.